One Rhode Island corporation is involved in an awful lot of development projects in Rhode Island, and Mark Murphy is the editor of the Providence Business News. Cover story in the current edition of the newspaper is about those various projects in various stages of development. We're talking about the Carpionato Corporation, and yours is, I think, the first member of the news media in this area to talk about all these projects collectively. We do a lot of reports about this one here, this one there, but you've got them all summarized.
Well, and the reason is we did a Q&A with Kelly Coates, who's sort of the day-to-day operations guy for Carpionato, and it's because these are really high-profile projects.
And some, of course, are already well underway in operation. Others are in various stages of development. Here's a list. This is just a partial list of Carpionato's endeavors. The Chapel View Center, where the training school used to be in Cranston, the Crown Plaza in Warwick. All the Benny's locations, or most of them, I think they've taken over.
They bought all of them.
Every single one for various purposes. They're involved, they've got an interest anyway in developing 3 of the parcels where Route 195 used to be, and they own the Newport Grand property in Newport. They'll do something with it once Twin River takes their gambling operation to Tiverton.
Yeah, and one of the things that's interesting about this in discussing it with Mr. Coates is how much they want there to be jobs developed at these things. So for instance, Chapel View, he said, look, Chapel View has 1,000 people working there. Mm-hmm. And you think about it, you've got the retail, but you also have Alex and Ani has its headquarters there, but you have condominiums there as well. So it's a pretty significant development. And I think that they sort of view a lot of the other pieces, not all of the pieces, but a lot of the other pieces in a similar vein.
We've already heard a lot about what they want to do with the Benny's locations, different kinds of business, hardware stores, thrift stores, dollar stores, that kind of thing. What about these 3 parcels on the 195 land? Well,
they have a mix of things. They want to build at least a business hotel, some restaurants, but the thing that's kind of interesting is wet lab space. Is they want to build it, it's sort of an R&D facility because it's right across the river, right across the pedestrian bridge from the new innovation center, the Wexford Innovation Center that's going in the 195 land across the river. So they want to tie that into, you've got Brown around it, you've got that innovation center, and so I think that they recognize that this is people want this. A lot of the, as Mr. Coates said, the wet lab space is in Boston for Rhode Island. That people don't start their businesses here because there's not a lot of space for that kind of thing. And it's not just speculative. He said they're in negotiations. They want to get an anchor tenant, and then that will bring other people as well.
And Newport Grand?
Well, it's not clear yet. They want, I think, at least a couple of restaurants, a hotel, but it also would be mixed use. Part of it is they don't have the plans fully developed yet because they actually have to figure out, they have to wait for the city and the state to figure out what to do with the Pell Bridge ramp and how that actually works itself out. And once they do that, it's likely, although it's not guaranteed, it's likely they'll tear down the casino and then rebuild it in a new development.
There's lots more to the story about the Carpionato's development plans in print and online. Current edition of the Providence Business News. Mark Murphy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Frank.